shake it, baby, now. Well, shake it, baby, now. The next chord we're going to learn has a big round sound to it. It's called E, and it starts on the low E string. On the 5th string, you play the 2nd fret with the 2nd finger, making room for the 3rd finger that plays the same fret on the 4th string. 1st finger goes down on the 1st fret of the 3rd string, and the top 2 strings are open. Check for clarity. The E minor chord is a dark sounding chord played on all 6 strings. It starts with the 6th string open. On the 5th string, you place your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret. On the 4th string, you place your 3rd finger on the 2nd fret. And the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st strings are all open. Check for clarity. The A minor chord is a 5-string chord which starts with the open 5th string. On the 4th string, place your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret. On the 3rd string, place your 3rd finger on the 2nd fret. On the 2nd string, place your 1st finger on the 1st fret. And the 1st string is open. Check for clarity. The D minor chord is a 4-string chord, and it starts with the 4th string open. On the 3rd string, you place your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret. On the 2nd string, place your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret. And on the 1st string, your 1st finger goes down on the 1st fret. Check for clarity. In this section, we'll present 10 progressions for you to practice all the chords you've learned on this DVD. Progression number 1 contains the chords A, G, and D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Progression number 2 contains the chords E, G, A, and C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Progression number 3 contains the chords E, G, D, and C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Progression number 4 contains the chords G, D, E minor, and C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Progression number 5 contains the chords G, A minor, C, and D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Progression number 6 contains the chords D minor, C, and G. 1, 2, 3, 4. Progression number 7 contains the chords A minor, E minor, G, and D minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Progression number 8 contains the chords G, E minor, C, and D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Progression number 9 contains the chords A, E, and D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Progression number 10 contains the chords G, A minor, and D. 1, 2, 3. Up to now, we've been reading music on the staff, but there is another form of notation for guitar music. It's called tablature, or tab for short. If you look at the screen, you'll see 6 lines. Now this does look like the staff, but remember the staff has 5 lines. The 6 lines in tab correspond to the 6 strings of the guitar. The top line is the first string of the guitar, and that makes sense because the first string of the guitar is higher in pitch than the 6th. So from the top, you'll have string numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 at the bottom. Let's take a look at an example. If you saw the number 3 on the top line, that would mean to play the note at the 3rd fret of the first string. In this case, G. The number 2 on the 3rd from the top line would mean the 2nd fret of the G string, the 3rd string. And logically, if you saw the number 5 on the low line, that would be the lowest string and the 5th fret. Let's use tablature to learn some riffs from famous songs. Now, on these examples, sometimes I'll be picking down, like on the low E string. Sometimes I'll pick all down strokes, but sometimes I'll pick up strokes. Up with the pick. And sometimes I'll alternate, like down, up, just like in strumming, like so. So let's get started with our first example. The song Day Tripper by the Beatles has a very recognizable guitar intro. Here it is written for you in tab at the bottom of the screen. It's a 2-measure riff, and it's played on the low 3 strings of the guitar. First measure starts with the open 6th string, then the 3rd fret of the 6th string, 4th fret of the 6th string, 2nd fret of the 5th string, 2nd fret of the 4th string, and then open fourth string. So the first measure is the second measure starts on the fifth string at the second fret, then the fourth string at the fourth fret, back to the fifth string at the second fret, fourth string open, fourth string at the second fret. So that second measure is. When you're playing this riff, it'll help if you keep your first finger at the second fret to play the second fret notes with the first finger. The third fret note with your second finger, and then the fourth fret notes with your third finger, so you don't have to jump around. Now let's play that very slowly together. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now, up the tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sunshine of Your Love by Cream is a two-measure riff, and it's a little bit tricky because it's played in two areas on the fretboard. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you'll see it written out in tab. The first measure starts out way up at the 7th fret on the 3rd string with 2 notes. And then the 5th fret of that same string, back to the 7th fret of the same string. Goes down to the 4th string at the 7th fret, and then the fret below it, the 6th fret. So the first measure is on to the second measure. We go to the 5th fret of that same string we were on, the 4th string. The next note is the 5th fret of the 5th string. This is where I'll shift my hand down and play that with my 3rd finger. The next note is on the 4th string, the 3rd fret, and the riff ends on the 5th string of the 5th fret. Very, very slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. What brings this riff even more to life is a technique called vibrato. And the vibrato is used on the 4th string at the 3rd fret. Now you're using your first finger there. So when you play the note, you want to bring your finger towards the floor, and that changes the pitch of the string. If you listen carefully, it makes it sharper. You squeeze the neck and pull down, and you bring it back and then raise it up too. And a little faster, it gives a vibrato effect. Some people will add their whole hand to give motion to it, sort of as leverage. So with the riff with vibrato, very slowly, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's play it together, and you can use vibrato or not, as you wish. It might be something you want to practice later. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It also helps to make those notes real short. Instead of letting them ring. Deep Purple, Smoke on the Water is a very fun riff to play. If you look at the tablature at the bottom of the screen, you'll notice something different though. Numbers on top of each other. All that means is you play both those strings at the same time. For instance, the first note, or notes, is the G string and the D string played together, much like a chord. And then both those strings at the 3rd fret. As a matter of fact, the entire riff is on those set of strings. Move up to the 5th fret, back to the open strings. 3rd fret again, way up to the 6th fret, back to the 5th. Let's play those first 2 measures. The next 2 measures are similar. It starts open, both those strings. 3rd fret, 5th fret, and ends with the 3rd fret and then open. Now what can be very easy about this riff is you can play the whole thing, except for the open strings, with your first finger, like so. Or another variety of fingers. The choice is really up to you. Let's play this together slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. And faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. For the final section, let's discuss lead guitar. The minor pentatonic scale is the scale favored by many guitarists as the basis for their solos. At the bottom of the screen, it is laid out for you at the 5th fret, making it the A minor pentatonic scale. Notice that there's a note on each string at the 5th fret. And there's 2 notes per string. The other notes are on the 8th fret of the 6th string, 7th fret of the 5th, 4th and 3rd, and the 8th fret of the 2nd and 1st. But to play this as a scale, we want to start from the 5th fret, 6th string, and go up like so. And it's important to play that back down too. A good way to practice that scale is to just play it up and down like I just did in time, maybe quarter notes like so. solos are made up of a collection of those notes played at different times. For instance, you could take the top string notes and just go back and forth on those. Or get more involved by playing the notes in the top two strings.